Diet myth number 2. Low fat is healthy. In the 1950s, a scientist named Ansel Keys rocked the world of nutrition by claiming with some pretty convincing research that saturated fat causes heart disease. The low-fat craze immediately stormed the scene and has unfortunately stuck around ever since, despite the fact that we later learned that Keys threw out data that didn't fit into his model. In other words, he lied. He manipulated the research to make it look like it backed his theory that saturated fat caused heart disease, but in fact the science didn't support his theory at all. Food chemists immediately began concocting low-fat foods. When removing the fat from these foods, they had to replace it with something. The two choices were either sugar or protein. Well, sugar tastes better than protein and is more affordable. So excessive sugar or corn syrup were pumped into most low-fat diet foods. These low-fat foods are actually terrible for you because they not only lack nutrients and replace satiating fats with sugar and starch, but they also taste like cardboard and make your primitive brain believe a famine is coming. Dietary fat contains more energy per gram than any other nutrient, so it's most effective at delivering energy to the parts of your body that need it most. 1 gram of fat gives you 9 calories. Protein and sugar gives you 4 calories. So by eating a fat, you're eating more dense nutrients in one serving, which you get from 2 servings of the other macronutrients. Low-fat foods contain sugar spikes. They spike insulin, which leads to energy crashes and weight gain. Fat also doesn't raise the stress hormone cortisol, which increases blood sugar, suppresses your immune system as much as protein or carbohydrates, which makes you have weight more in your midsection. One of the main reasons people fail on so many diets is that they feel like they are being tortured and simply give up and go back to eating the foods they actually enjoy. But the truth is that you can lose weight by enjoying delicious, satiating foods on the Dream Body Fitness eating plan. Ask yourself this question before you start any eating plan. Can I do this for the rest of my life? And you can eat as much as your unconscious brain wants, as long as you are eating the right foods. When you eat real foods that aren't designed with flavor-enhancing chemicals that trick you into eating more, your primitive brain tells you to stop eating when you've had enough. You won't want more food than what your body needs. Fat is not frowned upon in the Dream Body Fitness eating plan, but not all fats are created equal. Later in the series, you will learn which types of fat turns off cravings and which types cause them. Unfortunately, when low-fat foods become popular, we started rejecting all fats instead of just the bad ones. This type of thinking has stuck around for just too long. Rather than experiencing more of the same fat-free agony, now you can reap the health benefits of a high healthy fat diet and wake up every morning thrilled about the food you're going to eat that day. The most effective diet in the world won't work if you don't stick with it. The fact is that since we embraced the low-fat eating plan, the only thing that has become smaller is our wallets. What's happened to our waistline? They've become bigger than they've ever been before. We have more people fatter the more low-fat foods that we eat. One simple reason the Dream Body Fitness eating plan is effective over the long term is that it tastes good and doesn't cause your primitive brain to waste your willpower battling cravings. This makes it sustainable. Why would you ever go off a diet that tastes better than the diet you were eating before you started looking great, losing weight and kicking ass? You tell me.